Hey, how you doing? So this is Neil from masterpaintingnow.com, a top art instructor on Udemy with over like 63,000 students now. And thank you everyone that has become a student. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and start on this video on how to draw hair. So I did a quick sketch here for something to draw on top of. Now, one of the mistakes people make when they look at a photo to try to draw the hair is they try to think of hair as strands, like individual little pieces. Think of it as full clumps, almost like you're thinking of pieces of material. And so in this case, think of this whole entire piece of hair. Let me see here. I thought I fixed this problem, but I guess not. I have to keep on plugging it back in for some reason when I'm using PaintStorm with my new computer. Anyway, think of this chunk of hair right here as one chunk of hair, like that. Think of this as a chunk of hair, all of that. Like, think of it as in pieces, as in chunks, and draw it that way. Don't think about individual strands, don't think about texturing, just think about the overall shapes. Now there's three major shapes you want to concern yourself with. Let's start a new layer here. And this is PaintStorm, by the way. It's only $20. You own it for life, free updates, everything. Absolutely awesome program. I'm using the default pencils that come with the program. Absolutely, just fantastic. I use this to, my new course just came out, how to paint like Bob Ross with this software. And you get my Bob Ross brushes I took years to develop for free. So the first thing is you want to think about the crown of the head, right? This like halo right here. That's the top of the head. So think about that. Think about where the person's facing forward or backwards, and you got to think about it in 3D. So I'm not going to go over the fundamentals of drawing. I have a course on that on my website, masterpaintingnow.com. The link's in the description, and it's only $10 right now. All my courses on there are on sale for $10. So check out the fundamentals of drawing course. All the hair kind of grows out of this part here, from the center. So think about the center of the head. The hair kind of grows up and it grows up and then it falls down. Now, depending on some people have a cowlick toward the back of their head as well. So if you think about the top of the head, you have this center line, the center line that goes like this, and the hair is coming out from each side like this. And from everywhere, it grows like that. Now, this is the back of the head here, and this is the front of the head. Right, so imagine this being the circle, that's the top of the head. In the back of the head, it goes like that and grows down. So from the side view, the hair goes like this and it grows down because of gravity. And then you think about all this side plane of the hair, it comes down like this and grows, right? And then you have the ear somewhere around here, and usually people tuck it behind their ear. And then you have another line here and it grows like that. So think about how the hair grows. Actually, learning how to cut hair, like watching some YouTube videos on just the basics of cutting hair, on hair cutting, will really help you tremendously. It helped me so much understanding how to draw hair, because I wanted to cut my wife's hair, so I went and watched a bunch of videos on how to cut hair, and after that I had a whole new appreciation for how to draw hair. Alright, so thinking from the front of the head, here's the top of the head, and then we're going to kind of go to the front of the head. Right here's the forehead. All right, you have this kind of part right here. Think about this as the bangs. This comes out and makes the bangs, right? So from here, from the center, this comes out, and this makes your bangs like this. Okay, that's important. Then you still can see some of the back of the hair back here. This is where you have the back of the hair like that. So that's the front piece. You have the bang as your front piece of the hair. Then you have the side pieces of the hair. This is all the hair from the side view. Oops, I don't know why. Draw a circle and then draw the kind of, right, from the side view you have all this hair. Let's go up a little bit taller there. Whatever, anyway, you have all this hair. Oh, I did it again. Sorry, I don't know why it's doing this. I had it fixed for a while. I updated drivers and stuff, and that fixed it. Now it's like doing it more than ever. Anyway, so right here you have the hair, and it comes down like this. So we just drew this top part, this top plane here. Now we got this hair that's going to come down like this. This makes the side hair. So all this hair right here is going to be the side hair, and that's what we're drawing right here, like so, like that. Then you have the back hair, all this hair here that comes down and makes the back of the hair, and that will come out like so, and let's say it's like this long, right? And that's like the basic shape for the hair. Now you have a hairstyle, and then from here you can kind of pull some lines. You can come and maybe a couple lines here and there, but depending whether you're drawing like more comic style or realistic will determine how you do that. Now, this background here is going to be shaded, right? Because it's more in the background, so you can just kind of shade it like this. This is a dynamic pencil. It's kind of cool when you put it on the side like this. It shades kind of like a pencil. If you draw more normal, you can draw straight lines. It's really cool. It has tilt supports when you tilt the pen. It's got tilt support. Right, anyway. So that's the basic idea. And then this top here, you want to shade it as well. Then you want to shade it kind of like how the light's hitting it. So for her, you have all this dark here, you have kind of a light here. So you want to shade each ribbon. But I just want to give the basic idea first, and then we're going to go ahead and we'll kind of draw this hairstyle. Now our head's not tilted the same as hers. That's fine. We're just kind of looking at the hairstyle itself. So first thing is we have the front bangs. Now her front bangs, instead of being shaped like this, like a triangle in the front, is long, and they're shaped different. So we take that lock of hair that's right here, this lock of hair here, and we're just going to kind of mimic that lock. I'll come over to the side. We'll give her a side part like she has there. So we'll take that side lock, and we're going to kind of come and just kind of draw the shape that it has like this. So something like so. We're not trying to draw the photo exactly. We're just trying to give a generalization of how the hair looks. So like that. That's the lock of hair. And you might have a few little hairs right there. And I can just kind of shade that right there. And normally you would, erase what's behind it, but this is fine. Let's go ahead and draw a few little shapes like that, just to kind of, and this will be darker. That's the dark part of it. Now when we come down and shade this, I'm kind of ignoring the drawing I have in the background there. Normally I would erase part of that, but so I'm going to, if you look at it here, you have a lot of dark in this part of the hair. So the way the light's hitting it, it's kind of dark here, and then it's kind of, I'm going to put that background dark right there. Then this part of the hair is kind of dark down here, like so. So it kind of has an overall shape like that, and the light's kind of hitting it on the left side a little bit. And then you would go in and do the actual lines, but first don't even worry about that. You want to get the whole basic shape of the head first. And because she has a side part, her hair continues to kind of go like this, and we're seeing that front hair still, the bangs basically, because from the top of the head, this is the top of the head again, divide it in half like this. So everything that's from here forward, oh, it did it again. Wow, this is insane. I have to keep unplugging my USB from the Cintiq. I've never had this issue before in any computer. And I've been working a long time in Photoshop. I didn't notice it happening in Photoshop, but it has been happening in PaintStorm. I wonder if it's a driver issue between PaintStorm. Anyway, so all this hair coming forward, this is all her bangs. Her bangs are really long. So we're taking all this hair right here, and we're imagining pulling it all forward. I guess I didn't make that many strokes, so I can probably just undo all that. There we go. Right, so we're taking that, we're still working with that bang hair, but now her bangs are coming. Now here it gets all kind of messy. Don't try to get all this detail down here. I mean, if you want to draw that, you can, but don't worry about that yet. You're just trying to learn how the hair kind of flows. So this piece is going to just kind of come down like that. Right, and that's still kind of like a little bit of the side hairs mixed in there, and maybe you can add just a few little lines just to kind of break it up. And that's all you want to do for right there. And then you can start to shade it like how you might imagine the light working on this. So let's go ahead and shade. It's not shading how I want it to. Let's go ahead and shade all this right here. That's where it's kind of curving in, so that's where it's going to be darker. And then it'll be kind of darker on this side, like so. Then you got to think about the other side. So now you have these bangs coming off this side here, and you have this kind of first part of the bang kind of coming like this. You have like a little bit of dark part right here. You kind of color that in dark. We have that look right there. Maybe you have another one right there, like two of them together. Just kind of like so, and then we can kind of pull this right out. What happens here sometimes when the way the under the side hair will kind of come forward, and this top bang part here will overlap. So that's what's happening here. You have, this is the bang part right here, but notice the bang, oh, I'm on the wrong layer to see that. So notice the bang here is like this. That's the top bang part. That's coming out of the top part of the head. And then all this right here, this is coming from the side hair, so from the side view, this is again the ear. So this, we're dealing with all, so first off we're dealing with this bang here. This bang is coming like this, but then this side hair, which is all this hair here, this is coming forward like that. So this hair is coming behind it, and that hair is coming forward. Hopefully that makes sense. So that goes behind it. Now we're taking the side hair and we're taking it and coming forward. I'm just going to grab a couple lines just to kind of suggest motion. And that's pretty much it. Like that's, and then you want to maybe shade some of this inside hair because it's going to be darker. Usually where hair is next to the face, it's darker because there's like a hole right there. It creates like a hole, if that makes sense. Like so. And then you might have some of the back hair, right? So now we dealt with the bangs and some of the side hair, but now we got the back hair to deal with. This is all the hair that's falling back here like this, and this is coming back, you know? But it's in the background, so we can think about how the hair is falling in the back. And you can actually see this, all this hair right here, this group of hair is from the back. So you just kind of pull some of that hair from the back. Maybe there's a little bit of a curl right there. And there you go. And again, we can shade this as well because it's coming from the background. This hair, you don't really see much of background hair. There's a little bit right there, maybe a couple little strands coming off like that. That's the simplification of this hairstyle, and that's pretty much all you need to draw, like if you want kind of a comic-y style or just a quick sketch drawing. But if you want to add more detail, I'm going to use a different pencil here. Do I like that one? That one's kind of cool. Let me see here. No, pencil hard. I think it's, yeah, I like that one. Anyway, so now you want to just kind of think about just a few little strands of hair, and you can add just a few strands in here. And you're not trying to draw every strand of hair, you're just a few. Like start from like where, I like to draw it where the light and dark kind of meet, and have a few strands like that. And then have just a few strands of hair, oops, that's too many, in the light part like that, just to kind of indicate it has some hair strands. Now this is kind of a, you know, messy, quick, sketchy type look right now. The way the pencil I use is kind of more of a sketchy type pencil, like if I was working a lot of the side of a pencil. Might add a few little strands in there, a few like this, and then I'm going to pull a few strands right here like this. Actually, that's ugly. Pull off of that one, there we go. And that's really all you need, and then you're done. Now if you wanted to, you know, put that into like a realistic drawing, texture and stuff like that, then you have to think about the lights and darks first. Just think about the tones. So for that strand of hair right here that's coming like this and coming down like that, I would think just about the tones here. So there's like all right in here, there's a lot of tone like this, like a medium tone. All right here, you know, just kind of draw that right there, and then draw this with a darker tone. And then you would have some more medium tone. This kind of comes up right here. There's like, let's say a little split right there. You can draw that little split right there and add a little bit of a darker tone. And then have this other piece of hair that comes like that, and that's going to be lighter. Oops. Like so. That would be the basic, you know, idea. And then you want to add the medium tone all in here like this. And it kind of comes down like that. There's a lot of medium tone in all of this area right here. And then you'd come in after you had painted that, or you know, took the time and shaded that really nicely with the pencil. Then you would come in and just add a few little details, just a few like this. Maybe some right there, maybe a few little hairs right there, a few little hairs. You know, a couple hairs coming off right here, like this. You know, a couple of hairs right here, maybe a few little baby hairs right there. A couple hairs right here. Like that, and then you just kind of add those details in later. That's the basic process of it. So when you're, should probably get rid of that. Okay, so let's go to a paint. I'm gonna go to my paintbrushes really fast here. So if we're thinking about hair like this, right? Let's say you have like this big chunk of hair like this, and you have, you know, it's like that. It's over here like this. You have this top part, so forth. So you want to kind of put in the hair first. I'm not doing really much shapes or anything right now, just the tone. And I'm going to take some of this tone, kind of working back in here like so. You want to get the tones down right? Get the light and darks. Where is it darkest? Where is it lightest? You know, get those shapes in there like treat it like it's like this, like it's fabric. Don't worry about any details at this point. You know, something like so. After you start to refine your paintbrush, you know, start to get it a little bit smaller, you know, and then you can add some more minor details here. And this is where you just have a few dark and light areas kind of overlapping each other. Maybe there's a dark right here. I'm not basing on that photo anymore. I'm just kind of going by memory. Maybe there's a little hair right here. And this is the light side over here. So this is the dark side. This means the light's coming from the left-hand side. So we got to add a little bit of light right here, because right where that calic is, whatever. So if the light's coming from this way, you have this bump in the calic. The hair comes up like this and down, right? And the hair comes up like this and down. This side is going to be light, and this side is going to be dark. And then this side over here is all going to be light, and this side over here is going to be dark, right? How like mountains, like how the light hits it. This is where it comes down to just understanding basic forms. So I can add a little bit more light right here. Let's say some light parts right there, and then some light parts right here. This top, maybe some lights hitting the top right there. A few of these inside lines. And a lot of this part is going to be darker because the light can't reach it over here. And notice it's starting to kind of resemble hair a little bit here, and I haven't added any details yet. You know, I haven't gone down to the really small brushes. Just keep everything, you know, more bigger like that. And then you can go in and start taking some of your more painterly brushes here. And you can start adding a little more detail, you know, just here and there. Not much, doesn't take a lot. Like so. And then I'm going to go to my pencil brush here. Now I can start adding some individual detail. I'm just doing this very quickly. Obviously you would take more time with it. I'm just giving the general idea here. Right, so you'd have a few little details here, maybe a few little wispy hairs coming off like that. You'd want to, you know, make all this more detailed at the end, but just get an idea to show you that. See that right there? I can just kind of add a little bit of detail right here, and boom, a few little hairs coming off right here, a few right here. And this would be like the sketch part. You know, you can do either way. In this case, I'm doing it backwards. I'm doing the sketch part after I've blocked in all the basic shapes. You could have done all this first, you know, had the sketch done first and then come in with the shading or, you know, coloring, whatever you're using. So just a few little details here and there, like so. And those little details go a long way on top of that, you know, shading. And then I might go here and add a few extra details here where I can actually pull in these light hairs. Now you want to add a few light hairs into the dark to kind of break up, because, you know, sometimes lighter hairs will go over and break up the dark hairs. And just kind of pull in a few of those. And there you go. That's the basic idea of hair. Now let's go ahead and do a few other hairstyles here real fast. Go back to my pencils, which I think is this one? Yeah. Alright, so let's see here. Show you guys some other photos we can use as reference real fast, just to kind of see like how you can see the hair beyond the photo. Let's say something like that's a good hairstyle. Alright, I'm going to copy this image, put it over here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this image. I don't need it no more. Cool, it's already a good size. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to that layer. And it happened again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to There we go. I'm going to go to her really fast. I'm going to use my eraser. Let's see here. I'm just going to kind of erase some of the top of the head here just because I can see it still, but I don't really need much of it there. Just so it looks, for the sketches, look a little better. Alright, cool. Back to my black pencil. So here you can see she has the top part of her head, so this quarter front of the head. So again, if you think about the top of the head, it's this quarter front of the head here. So we're thinking about that hair first. All the hair that grows out of here, that's our bangs. We're gonna, all this hair right here, we're going to pull all that forward. And then we have, from the top here, we have the back of the head, which is all the hair that goes back that way. Then all this right here, this is the side hair. That's what we think about as the side hairs. That's how I'm breaking up with those three parts from the top view. So all this right here, this is all her bangs right there and there, so her bangs are curled. So she has this kind of side part, so we can kind of draw in where we want that side part to be, like so. And then she has her hairline. So I like to kind of knock in the hairline really fast, like this. Boom. And then we have this, nice curly wave right here, so we can kind of just draw a few lines to kind of indicate that wave. Then we just want to draw the major shape here. So it kind of comes down like this and it kind of curls up. Like so. And that's all you need. That's just a few lines to indicate that shape. If you want, you can add a few more hair lines here at the end just to kind of show that shape. So that's the front bang. Now her front bangs are still here, so let's go ahead and draw the rest of those front bangs, which kind of go behind that part right there. And maybe there's a few, you can add a few lines just to kind of indicate shape. And that's it. And then you have this hairline that comes back like that. Let's go ahead and draw more of that kind. Now we're kind of drawing a little bit of the back hair here, like so. And we'll kind of draw a few. Oops, I came in too fast. There we go. Just draw a few of those back hairs like that. And you can start adding some shading if you wanted to kind of break up some of how the hair looks. So that all kind of comes, and then some of this hair also, you still have a few of these little hairs right here that kind of just flick out like that. You're not trying to draw what you see. It's really important. I'm not drawing what I'm looking at. I'm using it as a guide. I really teach how to do this in the fundamentals of drawing, how to see stuff and how to visualize it and learn how to train your brain. The whole course trains your brain on how to think in 3D. Now all this right here is the back hair. This all right here and all this back here is back hair. But we have some side hair. All this here is part of the bangs still. So let's go ahead and draw those bangs as they come down right here and they go behind. They go behind the side. See, this right here is all side hair. All that. I'm going to go into red here. All this right here, that's all side hair. So you can see where it's connected to? It's connected to the side of the head, not to the top. Then this right here are the bangs. They're going, see right there, they're connected to the top, but they go like that behind. So you got to think about how it's working. So let's go ahead and draw this side hair first, which is coming off right here. It kind of goes around her ear right there and has this kind of cool curl, like so. We're just kind of pull a few lines like that, just broken lines on the edge of the face to indicate, see like that, just like a few broken lines like that, that indicates hairline. You don't want to have them necessarily all connected together. Broken space is a good thing in drawing. So we're going to kind of go like this. We'll kind of add a few little, actually I'm going to come out, I'm going to kind of follow the photo there a little bit more like that. You can add a few, what I like to do, go back to my hard pencil here, I like to add a few lines like right here, like at the edges, like where, so if I have a hair like this, oops, a point like that, I like to draw a few lines like right here just to kind of come off that edge like that, and then a few lines up here. Another thing I like to do too is when I'm drawing hair, I like to go like this a lot. See how the two lines go together? It makes this kind of V shape. That looks really nice and pleasant. So for example, if I'm at the top of the head here and I'm drawing hairs coming off the side right here, this is all the side hair coming out. What I'll do is I'll draw this kind of line like this, and then I'll have another line that's a little bit shorter that connects with that, oops, a little bit shorter and connects with that line like that. So it kind of creates that kind of V shape, right? Like, oops, come on, there we go. And I might even come down with that same line again and have the two lines meet like this. And then, so a lot of lines like that, a lot of lines that kind of meet together like little V's, and it looks really nice. Let's go back to dynamic pin tilt. I'm going to kind of tilt it. I'm going to add a little bit of shade right here. A little bit of shade right here. There we go. And then we can see a little bit of hair here, but that's all back hair, so I'm not going to draw none of that. I just want to draw the side hair here and the bangs. I don't want to draw any of those other strands. Everything else is the back hair. This is the bangs are still coming off right here, and they're coming and they're being covered. And technically she has this kind of like part where it kind of goes like this, and then there's hair, and then she has hair coming like that. So you can draw that kind of shape if you want. And when I have shapes overlapping, I like to draw a few lines coming off of that part right there, so it kind of breaks up. So this is like the darker part, then there's light hitting there, and then dark down here. So it's like two little like hills. And I'm going to draw a few lines like that. Now we're going to get into the back of the hair. So the back of the hair is being covered mostly by the side hair. So we're just going to see a little bit of the back hair like that. All this top hair and everything is covered in the back hair. So the back hair is just here. So the back hair, we have this shape kind of comes like this. This is the basic shape. And then we have this shape out here. And it kind of comes like this and like that. It's actually higher than that. So let's see the bottom right here. So let's go with the bottom. It's right at her neck. So it's kind of come like, yeah, because actually some of that kind of comes over. So it's kind of get that basic shape like this. There we go. And then this in here kind of falls at an angle, kind of goes like this, and it has this. Yeah, that side's pretty good. So that's the basic shape. I like to draw in those basic shapes first, get that basic shape in there, and then you can come in and start adding details. So you can add like that little curl right there, add some of the dark. All this here is dark, so let's just go ahead and start shading all this in. I really like this dynamic pencil. It's really cool. It really does kind of feel like a real pencil. Not as much control as a real pencil, but it's pretty close. Now we can start adding some of these, shapes in the background here. There's that shape, and there's this kind of shape that comes like this. This is all dark. Shade all that in. There we go. And now we can start breaking up the edge here with some lines. This is another thing I found with drawing hair is don't try to make it, unless you want to draw photorealism, then yeah, try to draw what you're seeing, but you want to do this first and then come in and start drawing what you're seeing. But when you come to the edge of hair, what I've realized is kind of doing like this looks nice, right? So instead of a hard line of the shape of the hair, or trying to come with bunch of individual little strands and match the photo like you're zoomed in on the photo, that doesn't look good. So even if you're trying to draw realistic, think about the major shape it makes and just kind of mimic those shapes a little bit, and then you can add a few little wispy hairs coming off like here and there, but it's that major shapes that you're trying to capture like that. And then sometimes I'll leave broken space, like see that right there, and then leave some broken space and then come back in with another shape, and leave broken space between the hairs, and it looks really nice. So I'm going to kind of come with a little hair right here. We're going to kind of come with a few hairs right there. And then remember that see that broken space right here? There's nothing there, it's just broken. It looks nice. And I'm going to add that major shape right there. And then we can add a little bit of shading. And there you go. And then if you want to, you can come in here with the eraser and erase some of that line you had there. Or you can just do it on 2 different layers and go back and erase it. Even if you're just doing a sketch, I recommend doing it on, doing your sketch on 1 layer. Like so, the basic shape do on 1 layer, and then go back over another layer, just in case you really end up liking the sketch. Then you don't have to try to erase stuff. You just delete the layer underneath it, because right? So you're like, hey, you might end up you might just be sketching for fun, but sometimes sketches come out so good, and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have done that in different layers, because now you have to go in and really try to fix it. Whereas if you there we go, just kind of break up some of those shapes. Anyway, whereas if you, from the beginning, if you would have just drawn them with different layers, then you just delete the layer underneath it. Now you have this nice drawing that you can keep. I might draw a few other wispy hairs like that. Now notice how I just I pull right there. See that? That line goes like this, and then this line, and then this line. I leave that open spot right there. It looks nice. I might have a few more over there, and then you might might just come in with a few little, that's too much, hold on. Even though her hair looks really nice and she has like no little, like they really took the time for this photo to really get rid of her baby hairs, but you can always add a few, little baby hairs if you want to just add a little bit of messiness. And you can also, there's a few little wispy hairs, always. You don't have to add those, especially with comic books, it's unnecessary. But sometimes, a few little wispy hairs is nice. Oh, that's too much. There we go, just a few. There, now we have that hairstyle. It's really easy to knock in there. And I recommend trying this, and then also trying for imagination, to create your own hairstyles. But first, work with photo references. So I had a few more hairstyles here. I'm running out of time. I don't want to do that one. We can try this one. This is kind of interesting. So what we're going to do here is let's free transform this. I was hitting shift, but for some reason it didn't recognize it, so I got to try to get it close. That's fine. Alright, so with this hairstyle, did it again. I'm going to have to figure out what's making this. I thought I fixed it with getting the new drivers and stuff. Oh, you know what? I had another Windows update. So Windows update must have ruined something again. I got to go back and try to fix that again. Okay, so see, our head is kind of facing to the right a little bit. Hers is facing to the left. So we have the total in her head's kind of down, our head's kind of up. Everything's wrong, so we can't copy what we see. We have to take the data from this photo and then translate that to our brain how hair works. So we know she has kind of a almost a middle part, but it's kind of off to the side a little bit. So we'll kind of put the part like right about there. And then we're not seeing too much of the top of her head because her head's tilted down. Our head's kind of tilted more like this, so we don't see as much of the top of the head. And we want to kind of pull the bangs. So think about the bangs are covering, and so we're seeing the side of her head right here. But it's because she's turned like this, right? But if she was facing forward, her bangs would be covering more. You can tell that. See her eyebrows? So we know our eyebrows are here and here, and the hair is ending at the eyebrows. So we know that our bangs are going to come like this and end at the eyebrows. I'm just going to draw a few lines like that, and then we're kind of come out like this, and then come, oops, like that. It has a slight shape like this. There we go. And then I'm going to kind of break up the edge here, the few lines. She has this nice part here in the center, so we're going to kind of, and that's right about where this part of the eyebrow is. So I'm trying to translate, because we're looking at two different views here. The way that my view, I'm just kind of getting inspiration, for a hairstyle. So I'm going to go ahead and put, so she has, oh my god, did it again already? Yeah. I remember it was really bad like that. I remember I did fix it. And yes, I can't even use my tablet now. How I fixed it was, I have to try to remember what I did to fix it. I think I went to my drivers and I deleted them. I can't remember how I looked it up, like people are having problems like that, and I think I went to my drivers and I deleted them, and then I went and told them to re-download them again. I think is what I did. So the Wacom drivers, I think is what I did. I deleted them and re-downloaded them. Alright, so let's go ahead and put like that, and then we'll have this. See, she has another little part right here, and then right there at the edge of the eye, she has this other piece like that. So again, we're not trying to be too anal with it either. Just I'm gonna kind of shade this in so you know what's the hair and what's the part. And then it all kind of goes right here, and then she has a little gap right there. I'm going to just kind of shade all this in now. That's her hair color. Like so. Then I might just add a few little lines like this, here and there, just to kind of break up the edge and kind of look like hair. A few lines here. So I'm pulling the lines from where they grow out from the center, from here, and they're growing down and out. That's how I'm thinking about it. So I'm thinking about how hair grows. And again, you know, take some look at some online lessons for draw or for cutting hair. It really does help. Right, that would be her bangs, and we have this little bit of side part here. So you have this big hair kind of coming out like that. I'm going to just kind of shade that in dark right here. Then we have a few hairs right here coming. That's all the top hair, and it goes like out like this. Now I'm going to just kind of pull in this shape here. Just kind of take the whole shape there and just kind of pull it in. And she has it kind of like this, and it kind of comes like that. So just kind of pull in these overall shapes here, like so. Like that. So just kind of pull in the basic shape, and then you can add in some detail. Now most of all that's the back hair, the hair coming from the back. A little bit of it is from the side, and like none of it's from the top. So all this, we can actually add a little more shape to the head right here. A lot of this hair here though is just coming and it's going behind. It's going behind her ear and all that kind of stuff, but also, let's see here. So we can't see all this because she's facing forward, right? This is facing to the side, so we're not going to see all this side here. We're not going to see as much of it. So this is let's kind of imagine where her ears are here a little bit. She's actually looking up a little bit, so her ears would actually be a little bit lower. They won't start at the eyebrow. They actually start a little bit lower like this because our character is looking up a little bit. But we want to kind of have the hair like that, so kind of pull in, and then we're going to have it come around the ear like that. And then at this part, you know, I already have the basic shape. Now I don't have to look at the photo anymore. Now we can just go, let's just see how we want this to work. Like, does this hair come, you know, forward, like maybe like this, and then that hair is a background hair. We'll add some shading here. I'm just going to kind of shade all of this in really quickly here, because all of this is going to be colored hair. Maybe add a couple wispy hairs there. And then when I get down here, I just want to kind of break up the shapes. Maybe have a little bit of curl here, a little bit of curl in there, like so. You could have some of the side hair here. So let's say this is a wispy side hair, and it's kind of coming like this, right? So that whole hair is coming from the side of her head. So it's coming in front of the hair. Everything else here is back hair. We'll kind of break it up like it is in the photo a little bit right there. But everything else here now I'm working on, this is all background hair. So this piece here that comes forward, that's a wispy hair. And I'm going to kind of just add some shapes here like this. A couple little hairs here and there. Now the reason why I don't have her hair touching the shoulder like it does in the photo is because her head's tilted. Our head is tilted a little bit this way, but it's not tilted forward, it's tilted back. So I mean, this hair might come low enough to touch the shoulder, like some of this hair right here might. Then we can add a couple little hairs like that. We get the idea. We captured the general idea and turned that into our own hairstyle by just getting inspiration from the photo, and you know, because it's a different angle and stuff like that. So that's really cool to do. Let's see here. There, you know, I can go through so many different hairstyles, but it's really the same principles. I'm applying the same principles. Like, I don't know, what if we're going to give her a mohawk or something, right? So you have her hair comes off right here, and that's going to come up. I don't know how tall her mohawk's going to be. Let's say this tall. And that's it. You know, that's all we can see of it. Everything else, all this is going to be little, you know, buzzed hair like that. You can draw a couple little lines to indicate the buzzed hair, and then the ears come down here. Boom, mohawk, right? If it was more of a side view or angled view, you'd be able to see more of the mohawk as it goes, you know, from the side. Like if you had an angle view like this, and it's slight angled and the head's coming like this, then that angle, right, so you have the forehead or something like, oops, whatever, we'll go with it. So then you have the mohawk coming out like that, and it's going to go behind the head, like so, and it's going to follow along the edge like that. And then you have the mohawk coming, growing like this. Then you have all the little spikes in the ear. Get the idea? Okay, so let's go ahead and maybe do one more hairstyle here. We've already done that one. That's kind of, let me see. A bob haircut, kind of did something like it. That'd be really easy to mimic. Do some wispy flowing hair. Let's try this one. I'm just looking down and see if there's a better. Alright. Alright, so basically, we kind of already did something like this before. Now her head's facing forward, so we can't really do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just, we know where our bangs are, so we're going to kind of just throw our bangs in here and have that kind of shape. Now her middle hair, it comes in front of her bangs. See this hair here is coming from her bangs. So that's something you can do. I'm gonna kind of just throw some basic shapes in here, like so. That's gonna be her bangs. And when you draw enough, comics and stuff like that, you'll get the hang of just quickly laying in some shapes like that. Adding some shade there. So now we want to take that top hair. So the top hair is, the top middle hair is coming all the way like this, and it's coming forward like this, and it's kind of cutting off the bangs like so. Gives us kind of like that kind of look like that. And then she has some other hair from, see that hair right here? Separate like that, and then she has some other hair coming from underneath that hair. So this hair comes from underneath that hair and comes forward like that a little bit. And we can kind of darken that hair in a little bit. We'll do the same thing on this side here. It's coming from behind, underneath, boom, like so. Everything else here is just a part. So you have the middle part right here. Draw a couple strands of hair. Like, remember, I like to do that. Those little triangles, they look nice. And then we have the back of the hair right there. And all this is just kind of coming. Actually, we're gonna keep it. Ours is, she's showing more the top of her head. Our head is leaning back, so we're gonna have less of this crown of the head is visible, if that's what it's called. So we're gonna come out, and usually this is like the white one. This kind of hair, it's usually right around the nose or lip area that you have the whitest part. So it kind of comes down, and then it starts curving in. And actually, you know what? Let's make that nice and smooth. Then it kind of comes like that. I'm going to just draw a few lines where it curves in. I'm going to let's kind of get that bob look here. And just a few lines of hair. And you might have a few lines coming from here. Like that. You're not trying to draw what you're seeing. That's really important. You're just trying to get that general idea. And then I want to use some basic principles. I also have a course called How to Draw Pinups, and in that I have a really nice ideas of how to draw hair. I go into a lot of cool little details for drawing different kinds of hairstyles. Also, I think my anime course, I have a cool part dedicated to hair. And then also in my how to draw pretty comic book faces. All those have some pretty different things on here. I think of all of them, probably the one that has like a lot of detail. Like if you just wanted to get one, it has enough detail on how to do all these little tricks and stuff. I believe it's the how to draw anime and manga faces. Believe it or not, I really go through a cool part about hair in that one. But there you go. And notice I pulled this out a lot wider than she has there. If you don't like that, you can always, stick to how it is in the photo, and just kind of come to that point, and then kind of come out like this, that basic shape, and then come in like that. And then you can just kind of play around with that shape, like so. And And that's pretty much it. That's how hair works. Think about it like a veil. So if you have the head here from the side view, think about it like a veil, like a halo that fits over the head. And so a halo like this, imagine a halo is above the head and there's a cloth draped around that, and that cloth just comes straight down like this. And then you can cut different parts of that cloth, different lengths. So let's say you cut this cloth here, that's now the bangs. That area is now your bangs. You leave this part long, and that's the side part right there, like that. And then you leave all this right here kind of shorter, like this back here, and you cut all that, and that's the basic shape now. And then from the front view, if we want to represent that hairstyle, from the front view, let's say, and we'd have the bangs coming forward like this, and that'd be the basic shape of the bang. And then you have the side hair, that piece right here, and that's coming straight down behind the bangs, and we can kind of see some of it, but that's coming straight down like this. You'll see this a lot in manga and stuff. And then you have the neck, give her the neck. Anyway, then the back hair, all this back hair back here is coming down at an angle like that. And that's all the background hair. Like so. Get the idea? Then you'd have the eyebrows, you'd have the eyes right around here, nose, and the mouth would be somewhere. Oops, that's, sorry, perfectionist in me. Even though it's a stupid little sketch, I want to make sure that it still is kind of has a prettiness to it, even though there's no eyes or anything. Anyway, so you get the idea, right? So you can just quickly, come up with these different hairstyles, and after you draw hair and think about these principles for a while, you'll get better and better at it. Anyway, yeah, so that's it. If you want more details, check out one of my courses. Definitely, if you're new to drawing, you want to know how to hold your pencil and all that kind of stuff, and how to do basic shapes and think in 3D and start drawing anything through imagination, you want to check out my Fundamentals of Drawing course. Again, that's at masterpaintingnow.com. The link's in the description. masterpaintingnow.com, just in case you don't see the link in the description. And yeah, I have all kinds of courses on there. My anatomy course is my most popular course. I have like 50,000 students now, I think, taking it. And yeah, they all love it. And that's more advanced though. So after you've learned the basics of drawing and stuff, you want to learn how to master the human figure. That's where to go for that. Also, if you want to learn how to draw pretty faces like this, I have a course dedicated to that, how to draw pretty faces for comic books. But you can apply that same knowledge, to drawing more realistic stuff. So alright, thank you for watching. If you want to help this channel because you got something out of this video, do me a favor. The best way to help this channel is to subscribe and hit that notification bell, ding! That way you see videos when I come out in the future. Also, and I'm going to come out with some more Bob Ross, how to paint like Bob Ross videos. But also, the other thing you can do, my brain fart there, is leave a comment in the section. Honestly, that helps so much. Leaving a comment, it helps the YouTube algorithm and helps my videos be seen by the people. And then lastly, smash that like button. That helps a lot too. So any of those things, if you can just do one of those three things, fantastic. It helps so much. It'll help this video be seen by the people so that more people can learn how to draw cool hair. Alright, thanks for watching.